Hey, g'day, good morning, afternoon, wherever you might be. Today I'm going to discuss with you some information on field hockey sticks, varying from the materials used to make them, how they are made, the balance of a hockey stick and also versus the weight of a hockey stick, selecting a hockey stick that's going to be suitable for you from whatever grade that you play, and also what impact various tapes can have on a hockey stick and grips can have on a hockey stick. Alright, firstly, materials. Okay, 90-95% of the manufacturers these days use a mixture of carbon and Kevlar when they make their sticks. Percentage wise can vary, but average, looking at a nice stiff hockey stick that's in good condition, or it's a high quality stick, probably about 90% Kevlar to 10%, about 90% carbon to about 10% Kevlar. This gives it a really good feel and also good hitting power. Okay, they also have a nano material over the top, nano paint coating or coating resin over the top, which gives it a protective coating. That's basically what you see here is the final product. The nano resin that goes over the top creates the paint effect that's on it. It also gives it a protective coating to look after it. Alright, the weights of a hockey stick, they vary, okay, between as light, you can get as light as about 500 grams, it varies up to about as heavy as 580 grams. Alright, the weights you probably wouldn't think would have much of an impact, but when you use it, it really does. The weight combined with the balance of a hockey stick is the next point I want to raise with you. Different sticks are balanced at different points. Alright, and what I mean by that, if you were to hold the stick in the middle of the balance point, so this one here is roughly, try and get it, there we go, roughly right in the middle, okay, a little bit sort of towards the head. Okay, so that's the balance point of the stick. What that basically means is if the balance point's closer to the head down here, it's going to make the head of the hockey stick feel heavier. So when you're doing your stick skills on the ball, trying to move the ball around, if the weight's down here, it's going to feel a bit heavier. If the balance point's down there. If the balance point's higher in the shaft, so up near the handle, the head of the stick will feel remarkably lighter. Right? Some people get confused between the weight of a hockey stick and the balance of a hockey stick. The weights, these Atlas ones here, all range about 540, maybe out to 560 max as far as weight goes for the adult type sticks. Okay. The thing that changes on these sticks will be the balance point, and that makes it feel like a lighter stick. But don't get confused between balance and the weight of a hockey stick. Alright, look, selecting hockey sticks. There is such a wide range of hockey sticks now, a plethora of different brands. Some brands to name that you'll know from here in Australia that we use, that we see all the time. Adidas, Edge have just come out, Grays, Griffin, JDH, which is a Jamie Dwyer brand, Kookaburra, Malik, Maison, TK and Voodoo, okay, and obviously Atlas, alright, are the sort of major companies or players that manufacture and sell hockey sticks here in Australia. You can get, there's probably another 20 or 30 hockey stick brands out there that you can get online from overseas. So that's sort of the brands that are available. When you're selecting a hockey stick, there's a lot of talk about length and what length you have to use. Alright, for adults, alright, we'll go back a step. For children, okay, they used to use the old belly button technique. Okay, so if the stick length on a child was sat at the belly button, that was the right length to have. It's not a bad guide to use, okay. Nowadays, it's all about feel, and when they go to hit a hockey ball, alright, they shouldn't be having to bend over too far to hit the hockey ball because the stick's too short. Okay, so they should have a nice easy knee bend when they go to hit the ball and be able to hit the ball with no trouble at all. So that is a general guide. They also talk about for as you go from a children, okay, through to adulthood. Once you get into adults, the average stick size is about 37.5 inches. That's this stick here. And as you can see for me, my belly button's up here. It's not even close. Alright, but this is the stick length that I use. So as you get into adulthood, what they do is they go by the hip joint as a bit of a guide. So that's my hip joint there. And if you're not sure, if you raise your knee, alright, roughly that sort of middle part of the leg is where the hip joint is. Okay, and that's where the stick will go for me. So for me, 37.5. That's as a rough guide. Okay, if you are to select a stick on length, it's more about having a bit of a use of the stick. So have a go, see what it feels like. If you feel like it's too short, fair chance it is. Okay, so you might have to go to something a little bit longer. Alright, stick lengths can get out to, out to 40 inches, 42 inches for some of the international players, but they get those sticks purposely made. Okay, the average ones here in Australia that you get just straight from the manufacturer, 38.5, 37.5, 36.5. That's for adults. For the kids, as you can see here, I've got a bunch of other ones. This one here is sitting at 36.5 inches. This one here is 35.5. This one here is 33. Okay, and they can go shorter, down to about 28 inches. When you get down to those really short sticks, they generally change from a carbon Kevlar hockey stick to the old wood type of hockey stick made out of wood, just because they're a little bit easier to make and a little bit cheaper to manufacture. Okay, so you can get sticks at various lengths to suit the hockey player. The next point I want to raise is the level of competition that you're playing, or level of competition that you are currently in. Okay, so for example, if I was an international hockey player playing, in international games, World Cups and all that sort of stuff, this one here is the top of the range one for Atlas. It is a very, very good hockey stick, very well made. Okay, and has a 90% Kevlar, carbon, 10% Kevlar, very stiff hockey stick. So, and also the other areas that change the sticks are also the curing temperatures. So when they pour the resin, mixed with carbon and Kevlar into the molds before they kill them. Okay, the curing temperature as it's spinning, it spreads the resin through the mold. All right, and as it's cooking or curing, that curing temperature will determine sometimes the flexibility of a hockey stick. This one here, top of the range, really quite stiff, really good hitting power, probably not ideal for a B grade sort of club player. All right, so bear that in mind. With these sticks here, really stiff, so when you trap a ball, it's going to bounce off quite a way. You have to have really good control on what you're trying to do. Whereas as you step down in the levels, okay, you're going to have other sticks that aren't quite as stiff. Their curing temperatures were different, so therefore you have a bit more feel in the stick. Okay, so when you're selecting your stick, you'll be based on feel as well as the quality. Alright, most of the sticks that are made have all the same sort of moulds, but it's the materials that go into them, and it's the curing temperature, and it's the balance point that makes them different. Alright, and that's what makes them different cost-wise as well. Alright, so just bear that in mind when you're selecting your hockey stick. It's based on your length, so pick the right length first, whatever feels right. As a guide, you use that hip joint rule, okay? And also for your youngins, for the kids, use the sort of belly button rule. Alright, that'll give them a bit of fat there so that they can actually, might be a little bit long to begin with, but they can grow into it and you'll get a bit more use out of the hockey stick rather than buying a stick now and then 6 months later having to buy another stick because there's sticks down here. Okay, so that's sort of what you sort of look at for selection, length, the level of hockey that you're actually playing, and the feel of the hockey stick. If you can get hold of the hockey sticks and actually be able to have a feel of the ball, hit the ball a couple of times to see what it feels like, that's the best solution when selecting a hockey stick. Alright, lastly we're going to touch on grips and tapes and what it does to the hockey stick. Alright, if you get this hockey stick straight out of the wrapper, still with the wrappers on it, and you use it, it's got a certain feel to it. If you were to put an extra grip on this, alright, it's going to make the handles, changes the balance a little bit because you're putting a bit more weight. Now you're only talking a couple of grams, but when a hockey stick's only 540 grams, alright, you whack another 5 grams up here, it changes the balance of the hockey stick. Okay, so you whack an extra grip on here, all of a sudden the head will start to feel a little bit lighter. Okay, weight of the hockey stick, the same, but the balance is now slightly different. Same thing if you start putting tapes around the end of your hockey stick down here. Some people put some strapping tape or various tapes along the base of their stick down here to protect it. and also useful for stick trapping. Okay, you do that, it's going to gain, it's only a couple of grams, but it changes the balance of the hockey stick. Okay, so you'll have a stick that brand new, feels a certain way, won't tape at the end, it's going to make the head feel a tiny bit heavier, and it makes it feel a bit head heavy when you start to use it. So you've got to sort of consider these things when you're looking at your hockey sticks and you're looking at putting different tapes and grips on your stick. Alright, like I said, various levels, various grades, alright, we'll use different sticks. So the little ones, there's plenty of junior sticks out there. Like I said, they range from about 28 inches through to all the way through to your 36.5s. Alright, so that's an ideal junior stick. You're talking sort of under 10 level there. Alright, it's a 33-inch hockey stick. Alright, good length and it's good feel. Plenty of, still nice and strong. The kids will still be able to hit quite firm with it, but it's got lots of flexibility in it, so they'll have good control. Then you step up to the next length of a 35.5. You're sort of looking at kids that are under 13 level there, you know, and then once they're past that under 13, going into under 15 level, they'll probably go into a 36.5. As a rough guide, like I said, it's all about testing, feeling, and seeing what works for you. Hey, look, I hope you got something out of that today. Look forward to speaking to you next time on the next tape. Thanks. Bye.